Hi everyone, Mike here. You're watching K at MRD Radio stuff, and it's long past due, but we're finally going to take a look at how to program the Retevis RT52. I've had it for about a month now and figured out some of the ins and outs, some of them, not all of them, but let's take a look. It's fairly straightforward. The first thing we're going to want to do is go to rheticus.com. This is what their main page looks like. We're going to hover over support. We're going to click on resources. That's where the download is for this, the software anyway. So we want the RT52, this guy right here. That's the software you're going to download. No firmware updates, but that's okay. I did discover that it does hold 95,000 contacts. Contrary to what my first video said, I thought it only held 4. So download that software and install it, and you will get this guy right here. So that is the RT52 software. And when you open it up, you're going to be presented with what kind of looks similar to some other DMR software. It is a little bit different, which is kind of weird. The iLens HD1 software is different than this. I think it's better than this, as is some other DMR software I've used. They'll remain nameless because this is a Retevis video. But at any rate, so everything in here needs to be double-clicked, unlike the other things like the HD1, you just single-click everything. So you may want to, so I'm using, let me make sure, I am not a Windows guy, so I'm using VirtualBox. So I have to actually connect the radio to this. So if you want, you can read the radio first, just to get an image of the radio as it is out of the box. I don't really see a need to, though, because you can just wipe anything clean that you want, but it only takes a minute here. So that way, if you want to save just a brand new factory image, whatever, you can do that. So read complete. So that was pretty quick. So these different things, the software kind of has me perplexed. So here you can see, I think you might be able to put in your model name. Nope, can't touch anything, can't type anything in there. So a lot of this stuff is kind of, well, you'll see here. So boot item, you can put in a picture somehow. It's got to be like a tiny picture that when you turn the radio on, which I think that is actually, some of the things like are up here. So like DMR database, you actually add right here. We'll get to that in a bit. Boot item, there it is. But I don't know how to do it. I don't really care about having a picture on there, but somehow it can be done. But you have to size a picture specifically in this right amount of pixels to do it. But anyway, that's kind of just novelty stuff. Attachment, for some reason they call the FM radio an attachment. I have still not been able to get the FM radio to work to date. I emailed them. They did not get back to me as to how I could get this, which the only reason it bothers me is because it doesn't work. I 100% do not listen to broadcast FM radio, so it's not that big of a deal to me other than it doesn't work. So another weird thing that I don't get now, so let's try doing that and that. I don't know. I don't really know what these attachments are. All these things you can't access. So it's kind of weird software. We'll get to where you actually program it here in a second. I just want to go over. So number key assigns if you want to, assign something specifically for, whoops, a number key, you can do that. General settings, radio, you can name your radio, put your DMR ID in there. Disable the tones, channel free indicators. These are just noises that it makes. I don't care about a low battery tone. I kind of do like having the upper end channel and the lower end VFO, but it doesn't matter. And I like the name display. I kind of do like that one when it turns on. So, aside from my radio ID, which you guys don't need to know, that's all you need to do in there. And then we have buttons. These are your, so like the top key, there's like a red button on top, so I put that to FM. For short press, long press, I mean, you can set these to whatever you want. There's a little middle key on there. I like to set that to zone for a short press. I don't think I have it on anything for long press. And then the PTT2 key. So the top, there's a top and a bottom PTT that I would just use. So if you push the bottom PTT, you get the bottom PTT. If you push the top PTT, you get the top PTT. So that's how that works. Contacts, now we're getting to kind of the nitty-gritty of this. So in here, they're calling like your talk groups. Those are going to be your contacts. And then here, channel, which we'll get to in a minute. Channel is where you're actually going to enter your frequencies and stuff. So let's just make a couple of these real quick. So let's say group call. You double click here. Let's say I want JerryNet. That's talk group 6. All right. And then you close it, and now it's in there. And then we want to add another group call. And let's just say I want QuadNet. That's a group 31012. So QuadNet is D-Star, DMR, Yaesu System Fusion, and some other fourth dimensional thing. All can get on a net and talk together. And JerryNet is the same way. And then, so let's just add, because this is important to me. Let's see, 4,000 disconnect. 4,000. Okay. So you just keep doing this, and here's where you would enter private call. So if you want to put like parrot or something in there, you can. Those are the three options. You have to do this first, though. So if you want a private call, you got to hit private call and then add, and then you'll notice right here it says private call. You can't change it after the fact. Again, more grayed out stuff that is non-editable. So non-editable. So another kind of quirky thing about this. So that's where you're going to add all of your DMR talk groups. Then we can go down to zone, and we need to make channels first, but let's call that Pi Star. You can name this whatever you want, but I use a Pi Star for DMR. So now here, channel. So I use 433.450, and then you can click this, and it'll automatically populate this. So I just run my hotspot in simplex mode, and that's the frequency I use. So that's channel 1. Now, because I have a few DMR talk groups, we can just copy this, and we can hit add, whatever, So then right-click this, paste. So now what that did, what it should have done, is now see how it just changes the frequency for us. We don't really need this one, so we can get rid of that. So channel 1. So down here on the contact, you have to actually add these in manually, and I'll show you why in a second. So, and it's kind of a pain in the butt, and you can name it whatever you want. So if you just use like the numbers here, if you just use the numbers instead of naming them, you can name them here. The squelch doesn't need to be that high. Scan list, you do need to add a scan list for like the analog frequencies. I tried scanning on analog and it didn't work. I had to come back and add everything to a scan list. color code 1. Do I use color code 1? I think so. And repeater slot 2. So I guess I should have copied that. So let's recopy that because I don't feel like doing it all over again. And then paste. And then paste. So when we go to here, see color code 1, repeater slot 2 is already filled in there. Now we've got to go to QuadNet and see how that's changed to QuadNet. And we have to name it here. So there's a lot of redundancies that you have to do over and over again. And then we can click over here. This is a nice thing that this is right here, so you can go back and forth. And if you want to add something, you know, it makes that a little bit easier where it's like way the heck down here on the HD1. So that is a nice part that it's right there. Let's just call that 4,000. And I keep my power level at low because I'm transmitting into my Pi-Star. So 4,000 disconnect. So that's how you can get to program all your channels. So just for channels, you have to do digital contacts and you have to add channels. Now we go into our zone and you can see these are already in here and I can add them and we can reorganize them however we want just by hitting up or down. So that's the DMR stuff, and you know, the more contacts you add, they would all be down here. So let's say I want to make another channel, but I want to have also another zone, and let's just call this analog. So for your repeaters and stuff, you just make a new zone. And so down here, so let's just say I want 146.52. Hit that over. This time, let's say I want high power. And then we'll just call this VHF simplex. Whatever. Squelch, put that to 1. You can put it to whatever you want. I don't want it now. So now all of this, because we're on analog as opposed to digital, we can change, whoops, I want my bandwidth to be wider. I don't want any CT/CSS, none of that stuff. Pretty straightforward when you're doing the analog stuff. I mean, that's pretty much it. So then if I want to add repeaters, you know, you would have your frequency, your offset there. Let's just do one more. So let's say I want 446.000. So UHF simplex. I think that's UHF simplex. Shows you how much I use it. And then we would set that and UHF. Whoops. And that's done. So now you can see these are all naming themselves as they go. And then our analog, here we are, so we can add these. So now we have two separate zones, and you can add as many as you want. This is, I wiped my radio clean, but I actually have, I think I have 5 or 6 different zones in here, and like 800 million channels down here because I've got all the repeaters and, you know, other things. So that's kind of it for programming the radio. There's really not much else you need to do. So at that point, we could write it to the radio. Let's do that. It does take a little while, so I'll probably fast forward this. But that's pretty much it. I mean, it's, you know, if you only got a few things in there, then it's going to take a few minutes. But realistically, I think it probably took me, I don't know, an hour or two, just because I had to kind of learn the software myself, and you know, kind of noodle around with it, because it is different than the other softwares. So now here, this scan list thing, here's where if I wanted to actually scan, if I were on the analog mode and I hit scan, it wouldn't do anything. You have to actually add them to this scan list here first. So, and actually we would have to go back here and wherever the scan list. I think there was a scan list thing on here. Maybe I'm crazy. I thought there was. So you have to add it in there for it to actually scan. So now all the channels are programmed in there. And you can go in and change them. Because right now it just says channel 1. So I would go back in the radio and go to change it to like name as opposed to just the channel. But you can do channel frequency or name of the on the radio screen itself. So to actually import your DMR database, you have to go. So you can get the database. I go to amateurradio.digital, and they used to be free. Now they're 12 months, $12 for 12 months, so $1 a month. And right here you can see they do finally support the RT52. So if you pay them, you can click this digital wizard here, hit next, and it's not going to let us do it because I haven't paid for it. But what it would do is it would basically let you select what countries or what states you wanted to add into your DMR database, because as of right now there's 124,000 contacts and most DMR radios support about 100,000, so you can whittle it down. Or you can also download this free download. Now this is going to be everything. So if you download that, and I believe this free download and this free download are the same thing. And what I did is, because the only time I ever use Windows is to use these programs right here. And that is it. So one of my subscribers mentioned that I could get LibreOffice to do some editing. So what happened was, when you get the whole DMR database, you're going to get an entire spreadsheet of contacts, and it looks like this. So what I did, and it took me a while, is I went through every single one of these. Now this is the full version right here. I went through every single one of these and sorted out the countries that I don't either hear or you know, care to talk to or whatever. Not that I don't care to talk to anyone, but you know, I don't speak Korean. I don't speak Chinese, so I've omitted those. And not that I can't talk to them, you just don't see their name. So here I saved this custom contacts edit, and I think I whittled it down to like 80 some odd thousand. Hang on, it'll show us here. So let's go all the way down. So on the left, you can see the number of contacts. So I've got, I don't know, whatever, 80 some odd thousand. This thing moves too fast. Whatever, it's about 85,000, I think. So then we go back into our software, and this took me the longest time to figure out, because you would think digital contact import, nay. That's not where you do it. You actually go up here to DMR database, click on that, then we can import it from here. So we're going to go to DMR database, and we're going to hit import. I already loaded in there, but so this is the edit. So this is the original one that's too big, so it'll give you this error, and just hit continue. So when I hit the edit, because it's less than 100,000 contacts, you open it up, and now bang, so we have 83,867 contacts. So this takes a ridiculously long time. You would just hit right. I'm not going to do it here. And that's pretty much it. So that's kind of all you would really need to do in this software. So pretty basic. I'm not sure why. I'll just show you the HD1 software really quick, just for comparison, because I do like it better. So you can see the layout's a little better. Things kind of just work. Here's your channels, you know, so it's a little bit different. You get this nice, spreadsheet where you just type everything in. But I mean, everything is fairly Fairly much the same. So zones, you would add zones here. So I like it better. Let's open this up real quick so I can show you how it actually looks. So that's what it looks like here on the HD1, just to compare. That's the zones. Priority contacts would be all your groups, all that. Let me make that actually a group call. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm definitely really happy with these Retevis products. So if you have any questions, let me know. Post them in the comments. I'll leave a link to where you can get the RT52 from Retevis. And yeah, hey, thanks for watching 7.3. This is K at MRD Radio Stuff.